everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of things that I picked up on my recent trip to Istanbul in Turkey. One of the things I picked up, I'm not sure if you can tell by my voice, is a cold. I'm one of those people who's 50% chance I will come back sick. If it ain't a cold, it's COVID. So I wanted to do this video while everything was still fresh in my head. I actually landed back in London yesterday evening, so I've just unpacked all my things. Everything's still kind of wrapped up and whatever, but I wanted to share with you guys some of the things I picked up and maybe a few tips for those of you that may be planning to go there in the future. I was there for 5 days, 4 nights, and I stayed in the Sultan Ahmet area of Istanbul. I literally stayed off a road just off the Blue Mosque, so I was very much located in the old city part of town and also the very touristy area as well. And I am going to mention things like scammers and things like that because it's very similar to how things were for me when I went to Egypt 2 years ago. Very similar kind of haggling, aggressive street sellers that literally follow you. Like I got followed I don't know how many times, and unfortunately this time round we did get a little bit scammed, which I didn't realize until a little bit later, but we'll get into that in a minute. So I thought, let me start off with the most important thing: food. Now, this tin of Turkish delight is from a shop called Hafiz Mustafa. Hafiz Mustafa has been around since 1864. There are branches all over Istanbul. It is a chain, and a very popular chain for a reason. Their desserts are excellent. The best I've probably tried in my entire life. No word of a lie, I've been all over the world, so many different countries. I live in one of the most multicultural cities in the world, yet I have never come across desserts such as this. Now, aside from what I actually ate when I was in one of their branches, I also bought back a couple of these, obviously to eat at home. Now, bear in mind, we landed yesterday night, and it is now only 5:30 in the evening the following day. Half of this tin is already finished, right? So this is what you get inside it. This one I actually had made up for me, so they did it by weight. Me and my mum and dad have already caned most of this. So these are the kind of things that you tend to get in here. You can either get ones which are already pre-packed, or you can actually choose which ones you want, and then they will put it together for you, and then they will weigh it and give you a price. Now, I do have a converter app on my phone, and I find converter apps to be very, very useful when you go abroad, because you are not necessarily to know whether you are getting value for your money. Now, bear in mind, I come from the UK. The pound is very strong, as is the euro, as is the US dollar as well. So this one, because it was done by weights, came to 752 Turkish lira, which basically comes to about 17-18 English pounds, which is probably what I would pay if I was to buy something from Umbala Sweet Store in the UK. They're so delicious, you guys. Oh my god, they are amazing. And I have filmed a vlog video which you guys will then see the things that actually we did eat when we were in the branch. So anyway, back to Hafiz Mustafa. So I picked up 4 of these smaller tins. I got some as gifts. They're already pre-packed, but basically they are smaller versions of what was in that larger tin. So it's cut up into much more smaller bite-sized pieces, and this came to 423, which is about £10, which I would say is reasonable. So it's not completely the same as mithai, as in Indian sweets that you get in the UK. It's much more heavier and more weightier, and you get a variety of choice of things. Now, I bought the same thing 4 times for 4 different groups of people, just to make it easier, because it's already pre-packed. I wouldn't have been able to remember what was inside each, but there are loads of nuts, different types of nougats, different types of desserts, loads of different things that you can bring back for you. And this is a reputable brand, meaning that you'll get a decent amount in here, and you know it's a legit place to buy from as well. Now, let's quickly talk about scammers. Now, it happens in loads of different places, not just, like I said, in Istanbul, in Turkey. It happens to many, many countries where there can be high levels of poverty in particular, that people will try to do their best and take advantage of tourists, because we are unaware of things like exchange rates, what is a good deal, what isn't a good deal. Bear in mind that Turkey has got a lot of issues right now in terms of inflation, because quite a few Turkish people that live there told me this, and it is a difficult time, and I do understand that. However, I still don't appreciate people scamming other people. Is completely out of order. So where I was staying in Sultan Ahmet, at the top of our road, there was actually a bazaar which is called the Arasta Bazaar. Now, the Arasta Bazaar is actually quite a small bazaar. There's a couple of shops on either side you can walk through, and they sell a variety of things like spices and different types of sweets and jewelry, etc. Anyway, I left my mom alone for a couple of minutes. Unbeknownst to me, she'd already been inside a shop and bought a couple of things for my nieces. And then when she came out and I said to her, what did you buy? And she told me, and I said, how much did you spend? She said 2,000 lira. And I was like, Mum, you spent about £55. Do you realise that? And the look on her face, she goes, what do you mean £55? I said, 2,000 lira is coming in at about £50, £55. What did you buy? she'd bought a couple of kids' bracelets and a magnet. And the look on her face, and I felt so bad for her because I had actually left her alone in the shop. Now, these men, and they all do the same thing, and they do it here as well, and I actually find it really cringy and quite inappropriate. They do that whole thing of, oh, is this your younger sister? Mashallah, she's so beautiful. And then, like, they try and butter you up and flatter you in order to distract you from what's going on. And I even said to my mum, did you even ask how much they were? She said, no, but I didn't think it would be that much. And the money in my head, and I got confused, and I just thought she felt so bad. And we were going to go back there, but as we were alone, we weren't with my dad, didn't really feel safe going up against two big blokes in a shop. It's understandable. So she actually spent a lot more than she should have done for a bunch of bracelets. I went to a similar shop a couple down from this one, and they had the same bracelets, and I said to the guy, how much is each one of these bracelets? And he said to me, 200 lira. 200 lira is about £4 to £5, which you would understand is fine for a bracelet. I think it's an adult bracelet, but kids obviously can wear it as well. So technically, she should have only really spent 1,000 lira, but instead she ended up spending double that. So remember, you guys, please always have your converter apps ready. Please always make sure you ask how much something is. Never assume how much something is, because the same thing could happen to you. She still feels so bad about it now, and I haven't mentioned it because I don't need to make my 71-year-old mother feel bad about herself. Shame on that man taking advantage of a disabled pensioner. I will show you what she did end up getting, obviously from the kindness of her heart, for her granddaughters. So she got two of these for one of my nieces, got the evil eye on it. It's a nice little stretchy bracelet, but obviously not worth how much we actually paid for it. Then another two bracelets, a red one and a pink one, with these gorgeous little gems on it. And then for my other niece, my best friend's daughter, I got her this as a little gift for herself. I forgot to mention, at the moment, the British pound against the Turkish lira is 40.46 lira to the pound, but that obviously changes once or twice a day. Next thing that I bought was actually some Turkish ceramic tiles. Turkey is known and famed for creating themselves. I actually bought some tiles when I was in Egypt that had actually been imported in from Turkey, so obviously I was interested to see how they were here. Now, this shop that I went into was actually located next to the Hagia Sophia Mosque, and it is on TripAdvisor. They've got their TripAdvisor plaque stuck to the door. It's a legit store that won't rip you off. You can haggle with them as well. The owner was absolutely lovely, adorable, so helpful. So I got a couple of things from there. So the first thing I got was this tray. It's just a small tray, but I absolutely love how it looks. And that's the back of it. I think this was about 200 lira. So that comes in at about £5, which I would say is reasonable for a metal, good quality tray with a beautiful design on it. My door number outside my house has been exactly the same one that has been there since we've lived here. We've never changed the door number. So I saw a couple of these plaques, and they came up to about £3 each, which I would say is very, very reasonable. So I bought a couple of those, and we can stick them up outside our house with silicone or plaster, whatever it is. So there's this one here, and again, it is ceramic tile. That's what the back looks like. And then obviously they're all matching. So I'm really happy that I got these. I think they're absolutely gorgeous and will make the outside of our house look great. The guy that owned the place actually knocked a little bit money off, even though I didn't ask, because he saw me faffing around with notes. By the way, I will link every place that I've mentioned in the info bar below with their details in case you're interested in going there and having a look for yourself. This shop sells a variety of ceramics, little knickknacks, magnets, all those kind of things, rugs, the most amazingly gorgeous things that you can take back to your home country if you choose to do so, knowing that they are completely legit and they're good quality and you haven't been scammed either. Now, next up, I went to the famous Grand Bazaar, and you guys, I ended up there by accident. It was our final day. My parents were waiting at the hotel for me, and I said I'm gonna go for a walk for about an hour and see what I come across. The Grand Bazaar is absolutely massive and very, very famous, and very, very similar to Khane Khalili in Cairo, except that one is outside and this one is more indoors. It's basically a huge sprawling network of indoor souks and market streets. You can get lost in there for hours. I had to remember exactly where I was going so that I could find my way back out, as I had a flight to catch. They sell all kinds of things: leather, lamps, tiles, jewelry, food, everything you can think of. It is one of those places that is full of scammers and people trying to sell you any old piece of crap for as much money as possible. So you have to be very smart. You get harassed a lot in there. Bear in mind, I was on my own. I'm a woman on my own, but I'm very good at ignoring people. That is the place that I said I was followed many times. And just as I was giving up to leave, I came across two stalls which were right near the entrance. The entrance that I came through had a security arch, so I had walked through that, and it was just on the side, two areas next to each other, and they had on it fixed price, no bargain, meaning that I knew that I'd be getting a good price because they're already at the price that they should be, rather than the overpriced ones that other places sell for. So the first place that I went to was actually selling some really nice jewelry, and I picked up this necklace right here. I'm not sure if you can see, it is the evil eye, which is huge in Turkey. They've got the evil eye on everything you can think of: magnets, cups, mugs, posters, whatever it is. So this is a gorgeous silver necklace that I picked up, and then all of these are not diamantes, but it's some sort of sparkly something, but I really liked this. And this cost me about £12, and he weighed it up because I think it's sterling silver, so he says, but I think that £12 was a reasonable amount for this. And I also picked up something for my mum. I haven't actually even taken it out yet. So I got a gold bracelet. It's basically exactly the same as what I've got around my neck, but a bracelet version. So this is what it looks like. I think it's so cute. So pretty, nice and delicate. Craftsmanship is lovely. The quality is good, nice and durable, hopefully. And this I think cost about £7 or £8. So that is a reasonable amount that I would pay for in London for something like this. If anything, I'd probably pay more in London for something like this. I went to a store that happened to be right next door, and I noticed how busy it was, and I saw the prices and I was like, oh my god, these prices are amazing. I cannot pass them up. The first thing I got from this store was this set of tiny little bowls. We actually use them quite a lot in my house. This actually cost me 300 lira. It comes up to between £7 to £8. I don't think that is bad at all for 6 ceramic bowls. I think that's really good value for money. Let me show them all to you individually so that they don't fall out of the box. So we've got these two here. You can see the evil eye is inside this one. There's another two. You've got the evil eye again, and then another one with various kind of mosaic type design, and then you've got these two again with the mosaic design. There's one thing that people may not necessarily be aware of is that Turkey is very, very famous for their mosaics. They've got mosaics there from hundreds and hundreds of years ago. They've even got a mosaics museum. Then from the same shop I got this kind of ladle, which actually you can hang it up. You can see there's a hole right there. I got this from my mum because I know that she likes to like leave them lying on the side and rest things on them or whatever. She might actually hang it up. So this cost me 150 lira, which comes up to about £3 to £4. Again, very good value for money. And the reason I know this is that when I was in Istanbul airport leaving, I saw exactly the same one in Istanbul airport for 15 euros, you guys. So 15 euros is almost the same as £15, and I got this for £3 to £4. Now you guys, my dad has a thing about mugs, right? And because I knew that my dad hadn't bought anything at all, I found some really cute mugs in that shop, and they only cost about 100 lira each, which comes in at about £2 to £3. So first off, I got this one here, which you can see it says Istanbul on the side, and again it is ceramic. And then I got this one as well, which is got the standard mosaic design. So those are all the things that I got from that shop. And then again, obviously I had to buy some magnets while I was out. I didn't spend more than 30 to 50 lira on a magnet, which is basically under £1 for me, because you don't need to really. So this is the first one that I got. This one is metal. This one's my favorite one because you can see like the blue mosque on it, the Hagia Sophia. You can see so many different things that represent Turkey and Istanbul in particular. And then you've got this tiny little plate. See, it's a plate like that with the blue mosque on it. So that's it for my Istanbul Turkey haul. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments or questions to ask, feel free to mention it below. Like I said, I will place all the info below for you guys if you're interested in going to any of these places. The Grand Bazaar is definitely worth visiting. I was only there for 30 minutes and I picked up all that stuff. Imagine if I'd been there for a couple of hours. The amount of winding different alleys to go down, they are immense. But bear in mind, you can't ignore people. If people hassle you, do what I do and pretend that you don't speak English. Like I said, I had an amazing time overall. I think I got quite a few nice key things. I'm gonna go make myself a hot drink because obviously I'm not feeling 100%. That's it for my video today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all soon.